sworn to tell the truth?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Resumption of cross-examination, Mr. Turner? Thank you.
Mr. Alvarez, we last stopped talking to each other. We were discussing what happened when Dr. Murray gave you these vials. You testified he gave you some vials, right?
No, sir. I testified that he reached out with a handful of vials, sir.
Was it your impression at the time that he was trying to give you these vials to put away?
Well, he said to put them in a bag.
All right. So you then turned to your right and picked up a plastic bag.
That is correct, sir.
And that was your idea.
I'm sorry?
That was your idea.
That was my reaction, yes, sir.
Dr. Murray didn't say, go get that plastic bag.
No, sir.
And then after the plastic, you picked up the plastic bag, your testimony today was that Dr. Murray put the vials inside it, right?
That is correct, sir.
Did you happen to take a look at the vials?
I saw him when he had them in his palm, or they look like vials where you extract some kind of medication out of them, sir.
Well, I mean, did they look like the vial that this vial here, which is
They were glass vials, sir.
Oh. Go ahead.
They look like People's 30 to you?
They were smaller than that.
Small. All right. Then you, according to your testimony, you then, Dr. Murray told you to put it into another bag.
Correct.
Right? That's what you said.
Correct.
All right. So you did. You put that plastic bag of vials into another bag.
Into a brown bag.
And you had to walk over to that brown bag?
No, sir. I just had to turn and drop it in.
All right. You still have your pointer?
Yes, I do, sir.
All right. Where was this brown bag?
Like I mentioned before, sir, this chair was in this general area here, sir.
Right.
And
Let's try that, because it's very difficult on the record. So if you can kind of be more descriptive.
Okay. To the farther side of the picture, in front of this red chair, the wooden chair was on the far left, on the far side of the picture, and the bags were just to the far end of the chair,
On the floor.
Yes, sir.
And they were open.
Yes, that's
Right.
correct.
And you were standing where?
I was standing in this area here, sir.
So you didn't walk over to the bag. You just kind of
Objection. For the record, he was pointing to the foot of the bed, Your Honor.
Fair enough.
Fair enough,
you
sir.
just kind of bent over and put them in the bag.
I just turned to my left and I dropped the bag. Yes, sir.
Indicating with his hand outreached and with the dropping motion, Your Honor.
Thank you.
All right. Then you say,
He pointed to the IV stand and he said, "Take that bag and put it in the blue bag."
and the IV stand, you said was to the, I guess the left side of the bed here where I'm pointing, right?
Can I point?
Sure.
It was in this general area, in front of this white chair, sir.
Is that what you testified to earlier?
I believe so. Yes.
Okay, but that's where it was. Okay.
As you look at People's 22, it'd be on the far side of the bed, the light-colored chair.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
And did you have to walk to the IV stand?
I did. I took a couple of steps towards the IV stand, sir.
couple of steps, is that right?
Sure.
Is that accurate?
Yes, it's accurate.
All right. And you said that there were 2 IV bags on the stand.
Correct, yes.
All right. And you've already identified one IV bag, right? You said this looks just like the bag that was up there on the stand, right?
Correct.
When did you see that picture for the first time?
I'm sorry.
The picture of the IV bag that you identified today, when did you first see that?
I don't recall when the first time I saw it, sir.
2010, 2009, 2011?
I believe it was 2011, I believe.
Where were you when you saw it?
I believe I was at Mr. Walgren's office, sir.
I'm going to show you People's 29, which you were shown by Mr. Walgren earlier. It's an IV bag, right?
Yes.
That IV bag, you said, looks just like the bag you saw on the stand.
Correct.
For that period of time you were up there, right?
Correct.
Okay, based on your memory, right, from 2 years earlier,
Correct.
right? Let me show you Defense Exhibit H, which is a IV bag.
You want to
Yes,
marked?
yes,
H
please.
is in hotel.
Does that look like an identical IV bag to you?
Yes, sir, it does.
Identical to the one that Mr. Walgren showed. Is that right?
Except for the...
Except for the black marking, right?
Correct.
And here, these lines that are drawn on this bag, right?
Correct.
But this bag doesn't have those lines, right?
That's correct.
Okay. Would you hold on to this, please, Defense Exhibit H? Would you show us, you did say that Dr. Murray told you to take that bag down, right?
Correct. Yes, sir. It was on the little hook of the IV stand.
Well, let me stop you right there. It was a curly hook, right?
That's correct.
Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying.
All right.
And I proceeded to grab it from the top, and I took it out of the hook, and then I grabbed it with one hand, and I dropped it in the blue bag that he instructed me to.
We just saw that you used both hands.
Correct.
You did use both hands.
Yes, sir.
The finger,
Indicating for the record, both hands at the very topmost portion of the bag.
And, yes,
you didn't wear any gloves, did you?
No, sir.
I handed you the People's Exhibit 29 again, which is their IV bag. The placement of these lines here, these squares that we see on this bag,
Okay.
is that generally where you pulled it off?
I'm not too sure. I know I grabbed it from the top, which is this area here.
At some point, Mr.
indicating again that top portion.
The top portion. Yes, sir.
At some point, Mr. Alvarez, after telling the police, which, by the way, you're fifth, is that right?
Correct. We had a brief interview, sir.
And you never did tell them about taking down IV bags.
No, sir.
After you made this statement for the first time, which was August 31st, 2009, is that right?
That is correct.
That was the very first time you told anybody about taking down IV bags.
Correct.
Right? After that time, you were fingerprinted.
Correct.
Where were you fingerprinted?
I was fingerprinted at my attorney's office.
Okay. All right. So then the next thing that happened was you took down the IV bag to put it around the corner, right? You took down the IV bag.
Correct.
And then after that, you put that in a different bag.
Yes, sir. That's correct.
And you said that was a blue bag.
That is correct.
And then you called 911.
Yes, sir. Then Dr. Murray instructed me to call 911, sir.
Do you think you might have gotten some of this mistaken?
No, sir.
No. No chance of that?
No, sir.
No chance. All right. Well, let's talk about this 911 call you made, okay? During the 911 call, you said that you placed Michael Jackson on the floor.
Correct.
Is that your testimony today?
Yes.
Okay. Are you sure it wasn't after your 911 call?
No, sir. If I remember correctly, it was instructing me to put him on the floor.
All right. Well, your testimony today was that before you put him on the floor, you grabbed Michael Jackson's ankles,
Yes, sir. That's correct.
and he was limp.
Yes, sir.
And before you could ever lift him, there was a catheter that was removed from his leg, right?
From
From his leg, a catheter?
a catheter?
Yeah. You said an IV was pulled out of him?
Oh, yes, sir. Correct.
Okay. And in fact, you didn't know where to grab at first because of the IV is what you said, right?
That is correct, sir.
Okay. And you were gentle with him, weren't you?
I was, sir.
I mean, you didn't just throw him on the ground, right?
Of course not.
This is you wanted to be careful.
Yes, sir.
And you're saying that Dr. Murray, before he actually grabbed, this is your testimony, before he grabbed the shoulders, he put a seminar device or this device on Michael Jackson's finger.
That is correct, sir.
All that happened before Michael Jackson was gently laid to the floor.
Correct.
All right. Now, do you still have the transcript of the 911 call?
Yes, I do.
Do we have it here? Will you go to that transcript and tell us at what line you put Michael Jackson on the floor?
That seems fascinating that he knows exactly at what point.
I'll overrule the objection. If you're able to indicate it, fine. If not, just indicate that.
Right where it's L.A. Okay, let's get him to the floor. I'm going to help you with CPR right now, okay? And then where I said I believe that I was at that time giving the indication that we needed to put him on the floor to Dr. Conrad Murray, sir.
Starting at page 3, line 19.
No, sir. It was yes, sir. Okay, where the operator was speaking on 19, and then on 21 is where we did that, sir.
Are you starting at there are a couple different indications of okay. The first is line 17. Is it line 17, if you recall, or line 19, or you don't know, or what?
Oh, that's right. You're absolutely right, Your Honor. It started. I was approaching Mr. Jackson when he says, "Okay, let's get him to the floor," because I was pacing back and forth because I didn't want to get the situation that was going on. So I wanted to make sure that I was focusing on the operator and on his instructions or whatever I needed to relay to the operator. So when he said, "Okay, let's get him to the floor," that's when I turned to the situation and I started approaching Mr. Jackson, sir.
All right. Well, is that when you put him on the floor?
Yes, after where I said I was indicating that we needed to get him on the floor, sir.
And you didn't tell Dr. Murray anything about putting Mr. Jackson on the floor, did you?
I believe I might have done like a hand gesture or something to that regards.
Where was your phone?
It was in my ear. I had my phone.
Well, I mean,
But I mean, when we picked him up, I actually put my phone on my shoulder and I braced myself to pick up Mr. Jackson. I believed that he was going to be very heavy, but when I picked him up, he was very light.
all right.
And
So you braced the phone on your shoulders,
Correct.
and you kind of gestured to Dr. Murray, "We got to take him, put him down, right?
Yes, correct.
And you reached for his leg that had to be removed, right?
And Mr.
Right.
Conrad Murray pulled it out of his leg, sir.
Right. And then Dr. Murray had to put the pulse oximeter or the device on the finger.
Correct.
All that happened during the 911 call.
Correct.
About when you've identified.
That is correct, sir.
Okay. Do you have a... Is the audio on?
Thank you, Deputy Jones. You're welcome.
Emergency? Okay, where? 100 North Carolwood Drive.
Within LA?
Yes.
Okay, would you need police or paramedics?
No, paramedics.
Okay,
As soon as possible, please.
And let me get you to LA City Fire and give me your address right away, okay?
Yes, as soon as possible,
I'm
please.
gonna transfer you over, hold on.
This is the first call that was made to Beverly Hills PD, right? And then you were transferred over.
Whoa.
All right, Judge, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah. Just a minute, please. For the record, defense counsel had just started,
Right.
but we can't have that playing at the same time there are questions.
Yes. Okay, Judge, thank you.
Thank you.
The first part of the call that was played to the jury was a call to Beverly Hills. You're aware of that, right?
I recall now after it's been played.
And it was transferred over to Los Angeles, right?
Correct.
Okay. And during that entire first portion of that call with Beverly Hills, you did not put Michael Jackson down on the floor, did you?
No, sir.
Okay, so let's go to the second portion. I'm going to play the second portion of people's, I don't know what number that is,
When
31?
you say the second portion, for our edification, where?
It's the 911 call. I'm just playing the rest of it.
Thank you.
Marker 933, what is your emergency?
Yes, sir. I need an ambulance as soon as possible, sir.
Okay, sir, what's your address?
It's 100 North Carolwood Drive, Los Angeles, California, 90077.
You said Carolwood?
Carolwood Drive, yes.
Okay, sir, what's the phone number you're calling from?
Area code 909-273-4846.
Okay, sir, and what's the problem exactly what happened?
Sir, we have a gentleman here that needs help, and he's not breathing yet. He's not breathing, and we're trying to pump him, but he's not
Okay.
breathing, sir.
Okay, how old is he?
He's 50 years old, sir.
50, okay. He's unconscious, he's not breathing?
Yes, he's not breathing, sir.
Okay, and he's not conscious either, he's not
No,
breathing?
he's not conscious, sir.
Okay. All right, do you have him, is he on the floor? Where's he at right now?
He's on the bed, sir. He's on the bed.
Okay, let's get him on the floor.
Okay?
Okay, let's get him down to the floor. I'm going to help you with CPR right now, okay?
We need him. We need a
Yes, we're already on our way there. We're on our way. I'm going to do as much as I can to help you over the phone. We're already on our way. Did he?
Is that it, Mr. Alvarez?
Yes, sir.
Is that putting him down on the floor
That's
at that
correct, sir.
exact moment?
Yes,
Is
sir.
that your testimony?
That's correct.
And you're sure you're not mistaken about it?
I'm not mistaken, sir.
All right. When you talked to the police officers on August 31st, the second time, 2009, do you remember talking about this device that was put on Michael Jackson's finger?
I believe so, yes.
You do remember the conversation?
Yes,
you
I
had?
do.
And do you remember telling the police officers at that time that this device had a needle attached
No,
to
sir.
it? You remember saying that the device was stuck into Michael Jackson's
No,
finger?
sir, I do not.
Defense I is a picture, Judge. It's an illustration.
I is in India.
This photo for the police officers on August 31st, 2009.
Yes, sir, I do recall that.
And at the time that you drew that photo, you never did tell the police officers that you had seen that device before.
That's correct, sir. I remembered afterwards, sir.
It was sometime afterwards you remembered that, right?
That is correct.
Now, the conversation you had with police officers on August 31st was more than 2 months after the death of Michael Jackson, right?
That's correct, sir.
And you've already said that it was at your lawyer's office?
Just a moment. There's a phone going off. It's disruptive. It's in violation of the court rules. And it's ours. And the person can be escorted out. I'm sorry for the interruption, Mr. Chernow.
No problem.
Mr. Chairman, if I may?
No. I'd like to ask you questions and you can answer.
Yes.
I think the witness is entitled to.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. Go ahead.
I actually want to depict that picture that you're showing. That what I drew there is a box with what I believe to be a wire sticking out of it, not a needle. So I just wanted to elaborate that, sir.
This conversation that you had with detectives, one of the detectives was Detective Myers, right?
I believe so, yes.
And once again, this was recorded.
Right.
Okay. Well, we'll deal with that later then.
Okay. Okay.
As noted, when you first reported all of these events, it was 2 months after Michael Jackson had died, right?
Yes, sir.
And prior to that time, you had already received offers from the media for your story.
I had, sir. Yes.
And who did you receive media offers from?
Various media outlets, sir.
Well, you released on August 31st?
I probably did, yes.
And you received some before you talked to police on
Correct.
August 31st?
Yes.
So who did you receive offers from before August 31st?
I don't recall exactly who, sir.
Well, was it the mail?
Yes.
London Mail?
Yes.
Okay. And they actually gave you a contract, didn't they? They handed you a contract.
They gave me a paper, yes.
Oh, was it a contract?
I didn't go over it too well, but it did specify figures of if I was agreeing to anything that they would give me this money.
Any other offers before you spoke to the police on August 31st?
I'm sure there was, yes.
And the conversation that you had with the police on June 25th, you said you called 911, right?
Correct.
You said nothing at all about putting away vials and IV bags, right?
And this was when?
On June 25th, 2009.
That is correct, sir.
And subsequent to that time, you saw stories on TV,
Correct.
on the internet.
I saw them on CNN, sir.
Did you see stories on the internet?
No, sir, I saw them.
Would it be fair to say that your story on August 31st, 2009 was substantially more interesting than the one you gave June 25th, 2009?
Objection, argumentative.
Sustained.
Well, let's talk about your story on June 25th.
Okay.
Okay?
Objection, argumentative.
The objection sustained as to that characterization. You may use a different noun.
You would agree that well, let's back up. You went to the hospital after Michael Jackson was taken in an ambulance, correct?
Correct.
You stayed at the hospital about 4 hours, 5 hours?
Possibly, yes.
Turned it off. It was on.
Well, I got a different. This is going to be defense exhibit. I think we're at J.
Ladies and Juliet.
This is a video that was provided in Discovery Hospital. Mr. Alvarez, let me show you this video. Do you see yourself in this video?
It's hard to depict it. You can get.
Can we? Yes. How about now?
Yes, sir, I can.
And what are you doing in this video?
I believe that's where Mr. Jackson was placed after he was pronounced dead. And I was there's a door to the far left corner on the top of the video, and I was instructed to make sure that nobody would come in through that door.
Who instructed you?
Michael Amir and yes, Michael Amir.
You recognize any of the other individuals in this room?
No, sir, I do not.
You can see police officers in this room?
Correct, yes.
And you were surrounded by police officers at the hospital, in fact.
That is correct, sir.
And in fact, was there ever a time where you didn't see police officers? They were all over the place, weren't they?
Refine, please.
They were all over the place, right?
They
at
were.
the hospital. Okay. And all during this period of time, you never once told any of these police officers about hiding of evidence or putting away vials or IV bags?
No, sir, I didn't.
In fact, at some point in time here at the hospital, you were actually interviewed by a police officer.
That is correct, sir.
And that police officer that interviewed you took a statement from you, talked to you about it.
That is correct.
You recall his name?
It could have been Detective Myers or Detective Smith.
It was a detective, though, right?
That is correct.
And can we turn the light on, please? The detective that you spoke with,
Maybe we approach her,
You may.
just down.